Who I Watch, Alita Legal Bites, Natalie Lawyer Chick, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee, and last but never least, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know. Follow them all. Who I Watch, Alita Legal Bites. Hey Sweet Peaches, how are you? Another video about Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, et al. So this video I wanted to call Judging, I'm reading in my notebook, Judging Justin's Judgment, Blaming the Victim. How could he choose It Ends With Us? How could he choose Colleen Hoover? How could he choose Blake Lively? How could he choose Stephanie Jones and Jennifer Abel? How could he choose to allow himself to be pushed? And that's why I said blaming the victim, because I feel like he made one terrible choice after another. You know, on one hand, it makes a person, I could see how a person might say, hold on, where's my lip balm? How do we hold somebody accountable and then also not blame them for being a victim? My hands are dry. I have to go pick up my son. So I've got to leave here in about 15 minutes. And I am interrupting myself because I haven't done a video. Let me see, when's the last time I posted a video? So, actually, let's see. February. Oh, I just changed the calendar a few days late, so it's been like a week. I was doing videos like multiple times a week. You see how I posted almost every day for a while. Yeah, but I wasn't getting any sleep, and I feel like it slows my channel growth when I post too frequently. I don't know. So I decided that it's okay. It's perfectly okay for me to take breaks, to work with clients, to sleep, to do other things, and to share. Like, I'm not a breaking news channel. And I personally don't enjoy really short videos. Like, when somebody posts a video, if it's less than 10 minutes, sometimes I won't even bother to look at it because it's like, I have a long attention span for videos, so I prefer longer form ones. Anyway, so I returned that mic. It was a Blue Yeti by Logitech. I could not get it to stop crackling, even with the UBS hub thingy I bought. Whoops, which I'm glad I got it. I'm happy. And then I have whoop. Oh my fucking god, that went all the way over there. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So another thing that I had wanted to say, and I could do some screenshots of facts and show like actual numbers. I had actually done some research. I don't have it accessible to pull up right now. But so one of the things that Blake claimed in her amended complaint was that this was Wayfarer's biggest film. And yet they had the nerve, I'm paraphrasing, they had the nerve to complain that, so Blake was saying essentially like, how dare you complain about all the changes? How dare you complain that I swooped in and took over when you guys made the most money you've ever made? But this was also the most money that Blake Lively has ever made in a movie. And she has lost multiple millions of dollars on at least 2 movies that she starred in. All right, I'm going to read over my phone on my computer. It Ends With Us 2024. It was a budget of $25 million. The box office gross was approximately $351 million worldwide. Blake Lively earned $3 million salary. Justin Baldoni was $320,000 motherfucking dollars. It ends with Us emerged as Blake Lively's highest grossing film, earning nearly 14 times its production budget. However, the film's success was overshadowed by all the motherfucking shit she did, okay? Savages 2012, the budget was $45 million. It grossed $82 million worldwide, and it says the salaries are not disclosed. I don't know. Okay, hold on. All right, A Simple Favor 2018. It was a $20 million budget, $97.6 million box office gross, estimated profit $77.6 million. Blake Lively's salary was reportedly $800,000. Anna Kendrick's not publicly disclosed. Let's see. Apparently, she made $1 million for A Simple Favor. Let's see. Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. Her salary wasn't disclosed. They made about $15 million profit, grossed $38 million on a budget of $23 million. It said that Gossip Girl, she made $60,000 per episode. She earned approximately $7.2 million from her role as Serena Vander Woodson. It said accepted in 2006. It was a budget of $23 million. I think I already said this. It was a modest profit, and The Town was a significant box office success, earning over 4 times its production budget. So it was in 2010. It was a budget of $37 million, which is a lot. Public gross, box office gross was $154 million worldwide, with an estimated profit of $117 million. Her salary was not disclosed. Green Lantern only got about $20 million profit out of $200 fucking million budget, and they got $219 million gross. That is crazy. Their salaries weren't disclosed. Really gotta go. The rhythm section in 2020 was between a 30 million and 40 million fucking loss. The rhythm section is considered one of the worst box office flops ever, with substantial financial losses. And also in 2017, All I See Is You was a significant box office failure, and they lost also approximately $29.3 million, almost $30 million loss. Unbelievable. So let's see, that's $60 million, $60 to $70 million loss alone in those two freaking flops, and those were like 2 of her last projects before this one. I think it's safe to say her career is dunsies. I gotta go. For reals, yo. Alright. Now I have got to go get my child, and we'll have to continue this, so yeah, she made some money and she lost a lot of money. I didn't add it up if she lost more than she made, but I guess not. But just like the fucking audacity that she would say, because she took over the movie, it made the most. And back home, so she had the audacity to claim that it was because of her stealing the movie and doing all the things that she did to change the movie, that was why they made so much money, when in fact, if she hadn't done all that, if she hadn't spent over budget, they were over budget. They went $615,000 for clothing that was just for her and some for Justin, and that didn't include any of the other cast members, and they were already over budget by more than like $115,000, if not more. Like, I think it was way, hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And then she had the audacity to turn around and say that shit came out of her closet. Like, bitch, no, it didn't. Just because you had Justin pay for it, and then you had Justin pay for people to bring it to your house, and then you put it in your closet, you said it came out of your closet. You fucking nut job. So the comparison is that the estimated profits on the movies she's been in was 599 million, almost 600 million in profits, with total estimated loss at 144.3 million, almost 145 million losses. Final verdict, yes. Net positive balance of 454.9 million, despite the major flops, almost $145 million losses. But again, that's not all due just to her by any means. But what else did I want to say about this ho-ho? Right. I'm back at my desk. Now I'm using my iPhone as my mic, because I returned the other one. I've got my little light here. I'm going to turn this on. Put that over there. I think I'll just keep it on quiet. I'm going to light an incense. So where was I? I was saying blaming the victim. Because I sincerely and genuinely believe that Justin Baldoni is a victim of multiple people trying to take advantage of him, thinking he was weak or an easy target, and thinking that they could take advantage of him, take credit for his hard work, steal his money, basically. Because when you take credit for somebody else's work and you claim it's your own, which is taking credit, and then you charge a bunch of money, for example, was it Zach Peters who mentioned that I've stopped following most people who have covered it, are covering this because of various reasons. I guess if you want to know like the tea, why I stopped following Daily Dose of Dana, I stopped following Dave Neal, and I certainly would never follow Candace Owens. I'll talk about it at the end of the video for the people who stick around and want to hear that, okay? So where was I? Blaming the victim. Who I watch, especially for this case, Legal Bites, Alita. She's amazing. She also covers Karen Reed. She was covering the Menendez trial, the first one. She covers a lot of stuff, but she is covering Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. She's a very fair lawyer. I also watched Natalie Lawyer Chick, who I love. She is also very unbiased. She's a defense attorney. I love her perspective. She's following the Baldoni case as well. And another favorite is Emily D. Baker. Can you hear the birds and the cars outside? Emily follows a lot of cases. Karen Reed, Brian Koberger, Donna Adelson. She covered Charlie Adelson. If Wendy ever gets arrested, she'll cover her. Corey Richins and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively. She also covers P. Diddy. Go follow her as well. And I also follow Lawyer Lee. She's amazing. She used to be called Harvard Lawyer Lee, but Harvard asked her to change it. But she went to Harvard. She's an amazing lawyer. She covers multiple things as well as Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni. And my favorite, I think Natalie Lawyer Chick. Well, these are all my favorites. Lawyer, Peter Tragos. He also covered A$AP Rocky. He covers Karen Reed. He is covering Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He covers many things as well. He's from Florida. So follow these guys. These are where and who you should watch for this case. Who I watch: Alita Legal Bites, Natalie Lawyer Chick, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee, and last but never least, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know. Follow them all. Who I watch: Alita. I just wanted to jump in to add that why I especially love all of those lawyers: Natalie Lawyer Chick, Peter Tragos, Lawyer You Know, Alita Legal Bites, Emily D. Baker, Lawyer Lee. The reason I like to follow them is because what a lot of other people do, and I do it too, I'm not somebody who doesn't, but a lot of people will read articles. What I don't do is read anything and everything. What I don't do is try to be breaking news where I'm running to the video to try to like break the greatest and the latest. What I don't do is just read salacious headlines and report on anything, whether it's true or verified or not. And I don't just put out video after video after video just so that I constantly have something new uploaded. I like to be thoughtful in my videos, and I also like to be thoughtful in the way that I contemplate a situation or a case. And I do like to look at things from both angles. I personally believe that Blake Lively is a blatant liar, and that all of this was some kind of extorting smear campaign because she didn't get what she wanted enough. Like, bitch, you got what you wanted, but it wasn't enough. So the reason why I like following those particular lawyers that I specifically named is because they look at cases from a legal perspective. If it's not loaded up onto the court docket, they're not reading it. They wait for court documents to drop. They wait for the judge to order a motion. They wait for the lawyers to actually submit. They do listen to press interviews and stuff like that, but what I like about them is they are looking at things from a legal standpoint and what will hold up in court or not, or what they think about it from that perspective, rather than emotional pleas about how beautiful, how uniquely beautiful this person who's had 80 plastic surgeries, or how, you're putting your politics into it, or just being salacious, or even with Perez Hilton, I never really cared for him, but I was listening to some of his things, but it's like, some people, they just report to report and they want it to be salacious and they don't care really how true it is or not. And they'll say whatever they're going to say and they'll bounce around like ping pong balls and, all for views. And I'm not saying that that's what any of those particular people are doing specifically, or that I could know that. I'm just saying I really like to follow people who look at the situation fairly and accurately instead of being so obvious in their bias. Now, again, when I'm biased, I say I'm biased. I'm biased in this case. I am biased against Blake Lively. I already didn't like her. I already thought she was a ratchet hoe. I already liked Justin Baldoni. I already thought he was a great actor. I already thought he was a good man and a good person. So that's why when I first saw the headline that Blake Lively accused him of SH, my first instinct was, I know you fucking lying, because there ain't no way. I don't believe it. I'm not going to automatically believe something. Well, I did. I automatically believed, I should say. I'm not going to automatically believe something just because somebody says it. The person who said it to me was a liar and not trustworthy. So I automatically thought, You're lying because you got two people in the situation. One is a well-established good person, one is a well-established bad person. So the well-established bad person is putting down the well-established good person. Well, my instinct was to say, nah, bitch, you're lying. You are lying, ho. And she is. She continues to. I find it interesting that one unique feature or characteristic in this case that I find that is very reminiscent to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp is how, no matter how obvious it is that that bitch is lying, she keeps going. Like Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone. Suitcase Sarah. We saw the video. We saw the video of you murdering George Torres. We saw it. We heard you. She was like, nah, bitch, that's not enough. I need you to see every awful, abusive video I ever took of him. Which we did. Thank you very much. Probably not every, but we saw hell of a lot. And after all that, still trying to be like, you're smearing me. Girl, you're a psycho. And Blake and Ryan may be co-psychos. I don't know. But anyway, follow those guys. Follow those lawyers. They are fair and intelligent and look at things truthfully. And they all knew Amber Heard was a fucking liar. How could Justin choose? Why would Justin choose that book? I saw a video of, let me find her name. I found it. It's Casey. I'm going to change my background, by the way. I'm not going to really promote her for one reason specifically, which is I'm not going to promote her for one reason specifically. So one reason alone why I would not promote her is because she said Kamala's name, Kamala, and that makes me immediately think you're ignorant or you listen too much to Fox or to Trump. So I didn't like that. However, I did like her reviews of Exploring the Insane World of Colleen Hoover, Part 1 and Part 2. And she went over her perspective of the books, which is what leads me to say, from based on the things that she was reading, and she had like screenshots of parts of the books that she was reading, you know, and she filled in her thoughts as well, but I just couldn't. I cannot understand how Justin would read that book and come away thinking this is a really moving book. This is a book that we should turn into a movie. This is a powerful book about DV survivorship. A part of me wonders if he read the book quickly and then the influence from what was it, Book Talk, and seeing that it had millions of fans. So it says in 2019 she sold over 1 million. In 2022 it was #1 on the New York Times bestseller list because of Book Talk. She had 2 million subscribers or whatever. So, you know, maybe Justin read the book and it gave him the idea of a movie, which is an adaptation. It's not a verbatim, you know, copy paste. You cannot translate a book exactly to a movie. I mean, you probably can if you like the Pride and Prejudice. They did a series, they did a short series where they were able to really get a lot of it in, a lot more and than you can get in a movie. So, like Jane the Virgin, it was like literally like 100 episodes. You can get a heck of a lot more in. But anyway, maybe like I can't read his mind. I can't understand why he would pick that book, which seems bad, but like hindsight is a bitch, right? Hindsight is a real fucking bitch. It's a bitch, it's a cunt, it's a twat, it's a, oh my fucking god. It's a wowza. Because it's easy to say today, right now, how the fuck could Justin Baldoni pick It Ends With Us? How the fuck could he pick Colleen Hoover, who betrayed him and sold out what she claimed? Now, she claims that this book is about DB and her mom, but based on things I've read, things I've heard now, comments I've seen, comments like Colleen Hoover is an amazing horror writer, but she doesn't know it. It's horror because the things that she glosses over and normalizes, the things that, like the way that she perceives the world is so misogynistic. It's so sadomasochistic. It's so horrible. It's such a horror. The things that she has the women doing and thinking and feeling and wanting and believing, and the way the men behave, and everything about it is just so totally weird. So I'm not really sure. Like, what I can say is that I do believe that Justin is not liable. I believe that he's innocent. I believe that Justin is a victim. I believe that he meant well. He had a strong vision, which we probably will never see unless he has it locked up somewhere, just like fucking Blake Lively. Blake Lively, I can't get it now. I can't say it now. Just like Blake Lively had stolen her cut of the movie that she wasn't even supposed to really have, and she fucking extorted Justin to let her make, and then I don't know. I feel like Sony is really problematic in this whole thing, how they just rolled over for her again and again because of her threats, but they didn't do any of their own investigation. At least none they've made public so far. By the way, I'm going to read something, but I just wanted to get these thoughts out because Lauren, what is it? The random something Lauren, and she reads a lot of stuff, and she was reading, I think it was a Stephanie Jones against Jennifer Abel, and Jennifer Abel sounds like a horrible person who was backstabbing Justin as well, saying terrible things about him, and Stephanie Jones was trying to smear Justin, and so then he hires Blake Lively. Like, Blake Lively had a problematic history. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know how much Colleen says that she didn't really even believe it until it happened, but she also says that Blake Lively is her dream Lily, y'all. And the reason she couldn't allow herself to believe it until Blake showed up on set is because she is such a fan that she could not believe this was happening. She didn't care that Lily was a 23-year-old in the book that she wrote. She didn't care that everything about the book changes when you age up a character by 15 years, because the way the way that Lily's character behaves, this is my incense, by the way. The way that the character behaves makes much more sense when you look at it from the perspective of a young, brand new adult, a 23-year-old new adult, just going out on her own, and, really young, and, still traumatized and hasn't healed her childhood wounds from her DV abusive father, although they didn't really explore that much in the movie, and making these choices Not that older people don't make choices, bad choices, getting stuck in DV situations, but it makes less sense in the context of this woman has had 15 more years to heal. And then there's the whole aspect of the reason she had some money to start her dream floral shop. Oh, I cut myself off. The reason that Lily had money, Lily Blossom Bloom, the stupidest name in the universe, unless you're a My Little Pony, which they did have that, you'll see in a sec. The reason she had any money at all was because her dad had died. Her dad had left her some money. Her dad, who she had such a bad relationship with that she couldn't even say 5 things about him she liked. And he left her some money, so she was going to be able to open up her dream Lily Bloom's flower shop. But at the same time, as a brand new business owner, using money she inherited, it makes zero sense that she would also buy $5,000 shoes and insanely ridiculous clothes. I just had to add that because not only was the wardrobe hideous, ugly, completely out of character for that character, it didn't match, it didn't make sense, it just, like, and I've already said this before, the way the flower shop was decorated, was so far from anything I've ever seen that looks anywhere remotely close to a real flower shop. And I get it, it's a movie, it can be embellished, but it was just so, it was egregiously over the top. The money that was spent trying to make her look rich did not match any part of the movie, in my opinion. And it seems like many other people agree with that opinion. But it's just like, how does the character that she was supposed to play look that way? And it's sad that, again, Justin made the poor judgment to let her have her way. I realized that at that point, he was being harassed. And I get it. Like, I went through sexual harassment. I believe he was being sexually harassed as well as retaliatory harassment.
GetLoveDreamingPeach.com.
And code hot pink, I guess. What I do want to say about the brief SH and retaliatory harassment that I experienced. And I had been working for her for about 5 months, and it was like the last month of it really went off the rails. And what I can say is that every second of every day, my stomach was in knots. I was stressed the fuck out. I was having like heart palpitations. It was the closest I've ever come to having like an actual anxiety attack. She was, she would text message me. She would email me on. So I had the original email that I started when I first started working with her. Then I had another email that I moved over to. And then she created an email account for me. And then she changed the email account for some reason and created another one. But she still was emailing me on the first one as well as the other ones that I had started with. Then I feel like I don't think she started I think there was 2 email accounts, and then she had a Slack account. It was Google Drive stuff she was sending me. She Facebook account sending me stuff. Then we were doing oh my god, what was the other thing? Monday.com we were using. And she would send me messages to all of the messaging apps, and also text me on my phone, and it was just constant. And every time there was a ping or a ding or a notification, I would get like a shock of stress. So the only reason why I'm mentioning that is because I want to say that for all of Justin's terrible judgments, I'm judging Justin's judgment. I do want to say and add in there that considering what he went through and how much he had put into it, I'm taking what I went through and then imagining it at the scale of what he went through, which was like 1,000,000 times worse for 1,000,000 times longer with 1,000,000% higher stakes. And I am not shocked that he made so many bad decisions from a place of duress and stress and despair and disbelief. And it probably took him a long time to finally realize what the fuck was happening. Poor Justin. I hope he gets every penny that he deserves, which is 400 million and then some. Because she didn't get what she wanted. She wasn't getting what she wanted as much as she wanted in the way that she wanted. And that made her enraged. And my kid is getting out of the show. I just wish that he had the judgment to push back harder then. And maybe I say this somewhere in here, but I may have lost that point as well, which is to say, you know, a lot of people are saying he should settle, he will settle, they will settle, it will settle. Blake should settle, like as if it's up to her. And I don't know if he'll end up feeling like going through it would be worse than settling. But the way they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling, they are literally throwing every fucking piece of shit they can, everything they could dig up, everything they could make up, anything they can patch together. Blake and Ryan and her lawyers and those heinous, hideous, evil PR people. So I kind of feel like he doesn't really have a choice, because it's kind of giving like, the whole, not to get political, but the whole, Putin invaded Ukraine, and then now they're trying to say like, well, you're the one who's violent because you won't give us everything we want. We invaded you. We stole your shit. We attacked you. We made up lies about you. But now, since you won't give us everything that we want and then some, you're the problem. You're the violent one. You're the cause of this terrible stuff happening. If only you would give us our way, which is why things are like this in the first place, because we took and took and took and took and took and took. If only you would give us our way, more of what we want. If you only would give us everything. If only you would let us fucking kill you and take everything and the credit and call you a terrible person, then this would all just go away. That's what it's giving. So what I'm hoping is that, within reason of Justin's own mental well-being, his mental health, his wife, his kids, his family, his financial, but I feel like you're going to, again, like with Ukraine, you can't keep attacking and then accusing the other person of being the problem and refusing to let it end. You refuse to stop attacking me, and then you're trying to turn around and twist it and blame it and say that I refuse to let things end? My God. So just totally changing who the character even was. Oh, and let me show you this. Like, Did she change the wardrobe to all that fancy stuff so that she could steal it? Like, was that part of the plan? Like, I don't want to wear these ugly things that I don't want to steal. I want to make him pay. Oh, that was another thing I said. Or I stopped saying. She made Justin pay, Wayfarer pay for the fucking premiere that she didn't even let him be at. He paid for that. He was paying for his own premiere that she sent him to the basement. Vegan marshmallows. How scum can you fucking be? Look at this bullshit. Lily Blossom, a fucking My Little Pony. You can read about her here if you want to. Colleen Hoover should have got sued for plagiarism because she made the female character in her book the same name as a fucking My Little Pony character, Lily Blossom.
Looks like Blake stole her wig.
It sounds so ridiculous that only a 5-year-old would think it was funny and cute. But no, Colleen Hoover had to turn one of the cringiest characters of all time. Yet again, I am judging Justin's judgment, but I don't want to victim blame, especially, like I said, hindsight is a bitch, and so are all the fucking women that happen to be working for him. And it's really sad. It's sad what he's going through. I hope that he does continue to fight. I hope that billionaire guy really is behind him and that he has no shortage of money, because it's time for the good guy to win and for the bad guys to lose and pay their dues and go crawl back under some kind of rock that they need to go under. Lily Blossom is actually a My Little Pony. Like an actual My Little Pony. Why didn't they sue her? Like, yo, bitch. You cannot use Lily Blossom. That is ours. But whatever. And it's like, how corny are you? Did you write this when you were 13 years old? Like, it's so... Everything about it is so cringe, which is like, why did Justin like this? Did he think, oh, that's a pretty good... He said he cried and he was moved by it and he couldn't stop thinking about it. And I'm wondering, was it truly that he couldn't stop thinking about it? And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I know I said blaming the victim, because I'm fully aware that all of these complaints that I have are basically blaming the victim. Like, how was he meant to know that? Like, I feel like maybe the book itself he thought of as like the basis of a really good movie. You know, he wasn't doing it exactly. And maybe he saw something in there that, I don't know, just wasn't there. And but he, you know, encouraged by the fact that millions of people enjoyed the book, loved the book, and he was like, okay, there's a fan base for this. There's a place in the world of film where people want to see a, like, It Ends With Us was meant to be an empowering character of a woman who goes through something terrible, but she learns and she grows and then she makes a better choice. But I don't know. I still feel like, I don't know, Justin. You picked a terrible book with a terrible author, a very problematic person. The fact that she immediately was like, you should be Ryle, that was problematic to me. And I believe that screams at the racist overtones.
Especially, she later claimed he came to her for the part.
And like, there was no diversity in the cast. And I think that, like, Blake has a serious history of also seriously being racist. She got married on a plantation. Even Ryan, I now learn, has said a bunch of racist shit, which totally tracks and makes a bunch of sense. Because of course, how could a man get married on a plantation that has a road called Slave Road, where enslaved people were living in horror, and they fucking got married there. And then I heard
don't know if it was Zach Peter again or Peters, where he said he looked it up and read it, and it literally says like this is not. I think it's called Boone Plantation, and it says this is not a wedding venue. This is a historical landmark that where it's like a museum, I guess, of the fucking horrors. Yeah, let's have our wedding there. Okay, so he didn't do his due diligence, and that I think is problematic. I think it's very problematic that he didn't do his due diligence, that he picked a shitty book with a shitty author, he picked a shitty first lady star, okay? Then he picked a shitty PR team. Like, how do you pick Jennifer A. Bell? But that's the thing. When somebody betrays you and they lie in your face and they say one thing but do another, how are you meant to know? How are you meant to know that that's what they were going to do when you don't know that that's what they do? And, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could have sussed out that that was a shitty book. He could have sussed out that maybe Colleen Hoover had some, he could have sussed out that Colleen Hoover tried to get a coloring book. She literally had a coloring book for her DV book, and I think it flopped because everybody was like, "What the fuck, lady? How much are you going to monetize? Like, this is insane." Maybe it came after, I don't know. And then I feel like he had poor judgment when Blake, I mean, yes, he had good judgment in the fact that he screenshotted it when Blake said, like, "Oh, I'm good. I don't need to see the intimacy coordinator," and he did send it to the other producer or whatever, but it's like, why did you stop there? Why would you not go to SAG or to the Writers Guild or to whoever, like whoever you're supposed to go to? Go to Sony, push back on Blake. Say, "I'm so glad, I've said this already. I'm so glad that you feel so comfortable, but this is for everyone's safety. This is a requirement to move forward, and I cannot move forward without you actively doing the things that are required to protect this movie, to protect me as an actor, as a director, to protect you as an actor and as a producer and as a human being." Okay, so that was poor judgment. And I feel that there was poor judgment when it came to the fact that when she showed him again and again and again that she shouldn't be trusted, she was not to be trusted. He kept on bending over backwards into a pretzel for her. So those are all my blaming the victims. Like, again, but like I'm saying, like, how could he have known? He maybe he could have had better judgment and not picked that book. And if he hadn't picked that book, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe he should have read that book and then, picked a screenwriter to write it, to write something that he was inspired by. But again, hindsight is a bitch. All right, this is a letter to the judge from Justin's lawyers, Brian Friedman.
catlovedreamingpeach.com.
Fucking crook. I don't know.
catlovedreamingpeach.com.